Budget 21 brought hopes, maybe despairs, maybe people's dreams are achieved and they are looking forward to something. But for my clients, I would like to bring a special episode to put together all the fine points, the plus and the minus, and bring you a crisp story about what has happened in the last 2 weeks after the budget has been passed, and what is it in for you as a common layman, and what you can look forward to in the coming year. How does it affect your budget? How should you now plan perhaps your budget? So I will go into the fine aspects related to the ground reality and bring you some salient features one by one, not going into specifics, but very fine aspects of what you should look forward to, what is it in for you, what are the merits and demerits, and perhaps how it can make your life easier, better, simplified, and is there something to rejoice. Hi, my name is Taressh Bhatia and I am a financial freedom specialist. Before I proceed, to be online with me and always having the best tips about financial freedom, about personal finance, about money, and let's say happiness related to money, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and always be notified. If you press the bell button, you will get notified with my latest YouTube videos, which have got over 250 new ideas already there. So let me add one such new idea today. So thank you for being with me, and let me continue this episode with something more and better for you. Alright, welcome to the summary of budget as I have analyzed, and I'll quickly take you through the fine points of the budget 21. With a GDP contract from 7.7 projected at 11% for the next financial year, the GDP is supposed to be doing better. So therefore, my strong positive outlook towards the budget and the economy for the next 1 year and maybe next 4-5 years. So I am very clear that this brings the buoyancy in the market, and this is how the budget is done by the ministries. The allocations are done, and this is how the expenditure of the government is done. I've summarized these points, and you can actually download this if you want from my given link given below. What is cheaper and what is costlier for you? Well, mobile phone chargers, gemstones, raw cells, solar cells, auto parts are going to be costlier, and some iron, steel, copper items, nylon clothes, gold, silver, leather items are going to be cheaper. So as I said, I will not go into detail, but this is a brief summary I have put together. So tax holidays to be extended by 1 year, definition of small companies, incentives for one person company, OPCs is going to be boosting up the startups. So in my opinion, these are all the positive things which have happened in the budget. Energy transmission parts, very positive outlook and outlay by the government, and the financial reforms like exemption from filing returns for the elderly. I'll come to the fine aspects shortly. NRIs to be spared from double taxation. These are good points which have, and the personal finance aspect, e-commerce workers to be benefited. The deposit insurance cover design is better feature, I feel. The increasing of the housing loan additional benefit till March 31, 2022 is a good idea. Rights of investors and grievance mechanism is a good idea. And the infrastructure debt funds, a new asset for investors, is a good idea. Let's look at agricultural sector also. So huge outlays as we can see given in the agricultural budget. Education loan also, you have seen the allocations done to the various projects like the new Sainik school, tribal areas in Leh Ladakh, higher education, and such provisions made. One of the very positive aspects I saw is road to highways. So that's a good idea to be investing such huge amount of, what you see here, these amounts here. So this is a great idea to be increasing employment. As far as health and welfare goes, so again a great budget allocated for health and welfare over the next couple of years, including COVID-19, 35,000 crores budget announced. Infrastructure again will bring in lot of employment, lot of infrastructure investments to be done, and as a common layman you also benefit from these huge investments. So thank you for this part 1 summary. Do stay with me for the continued part 2. Okay, so welcome to this part 3 of the budget special by me, Taressh Bhatia, your financial freedom specialist. In this, I'm going to very closely look at the economic survey which came one day before the budget. And today I'm doing a deep analysis of this. So let's go deep dive into this. The number one point is the gold prices are going to be controlled in a much better way. And this will give you perhaps higher returns than what you expected if you're investing in gold as a diversification. The rupee appreciation, depreciation is being looked at closely. The tax administration reforms have begun a process of transparency, so will bring in good results when you pay your taxes. Forex reserves of India are at an all-time high of 586 billion as of January 8, 2021. The GST, the monthly collections have crossed 1 lakh crore mark as of 31st December 2020. The foreign FPI investments have inflows of record 9.8 billion as of November 22. The GDP of India has recorded 11% for financial year 2021-22 and expected to be 15.4 after the highest, which is the highest since independence, expected to grow. The V-shaped recovery, which brings me more confidence in the investments in India, is an important factor, estimated to grow at year to year 17% going forward. And India's rating deserves to be much better than the financial ratings given across the world. And so that brings me a much better perspective to say when I'm confident. So last three, if you see the aspects here, GDP, V-shaped recovery and India's rating. So this brings in huge investments into India. That brings me the confidence that there is much things better to come up. And let me continue to the part 4 of this budget special. Welcome to the part 4. This is an important aspect I wanted to convey. No change in the individual and corporate taxes. That brings huge confidence as a common layman, as to you, as to me, that there is no change, which was highly anticipated that due to COVID, something new is going to be introduced. And then we saw this new thing as the senior citizens, I will call it the 5-6 aspects, but you have to carefully understand what it is. So exemption from filing is only if you have a pension and interest income. Only then you are exempt and the bank needs to file. And if any other income is there, then you have to file your return. 75 plus not to file on their own. And be careful of these conditions. When I say the conditions, then it is important that you have to understand what does it mean by conditions. So the bank is going to be paying you, will be filing your return only if you have this aspect in mind, which is that interest from that same bank which is filing your return, and any deviation is not going to be giving you the exemption benefit. Now, in addition to that, the benefit for the home buyers, that is a big boost because that was introduced last year and this continues in the coming financial year, which is up to March 2022, the boost for home buyers. So rental housing projects, that's a big boon. The reduced time for income tax returns is, you need to be very careful that you file your return on time, and this year you will not get any exemptions or extensions coming here, and there's a fine for being late on your returns. So deposit cover insurance enhancement is a great step because this leaves you with more confidence with your deposits in the bank of 5 lakh rupees. The tax scrutiny time has been cut, so that brings you again relief and more confidence that the taxes you're paying and you're paying on time is a great thing, which doesn't leave you with worries at what may happen in the next coming years. I also try to put here the taxability of interest on PF contribution. Number one, I guess you should switch to NPS here, because why I'm saying this aspect, because it is now not, PF is not equal to NPS, but look at the exemptions very carefully in sections under sections 10, 11 and 10, 12, because that's an important aspect. And this shall not apply to the income by interest accrued during the previous year, and earlier years is going to be exempt up to 31st March 21. After that, this takes into force. There is no confusion that there is, some people were asking me that is PPF part of PF calculations. No, it is not. Can you reduce your monthly contributions by means of the PF voluntary you are paying, look at that aspect with your company. Be careful of the new code, wage code, which is coming into effect from 1st April 2021. Look at the allowances which you are getting, because the basic salary definition is being revised to 50%. So you will have to carefully look at that 10% of your basic is the maximum you are putting for NPS income tax purpose calculations. Next, the easier income tax return filing makes it much more easier, because your pre-filled form now will come to you for with all this filled out. But that means you need to be very careful of your data, and you have to check if any wrong data is there. It's a pain or a boon, you decide. But you have to file your income tax returns, not delayed, but maximum if you have missed out something and you could not, then 31st December 2021 is the last date. And pre-filled data will also capture your capital gains, which any, if any, during the current financial year. Now, ULIPs, there was huge outcry and clarifications. Some of my clients asked me to give detailed view of this. So I'm giving you here point by point ULIP calculations, how this has been calculated. So number one, that equity 65% in a ULIP qualifies for this aspect of equity oriented ULIP. Number two, the multiple policies also come under the gambit of 2.5 calculation. You have to follow the prescribed method of capital gains, which also applies for your capital gains. Balance or hybrid, be very careful, because they also qualify under equity, and some hybrid may be debt. So be very careful of the word hybrid and balanced. And any top-ups after 1st February 2021 will be counted towards the 2.5 calculations. And you have a threshold for capital gains exemption up to 1 lakh rupees, no taxes payable. Debt funds under ULIPs, there is no tax implications. And short-term inequity, which means less than 1 year if you're withdrawing, then the tax applicable as it is capital gains. So it is 15% plus the applicable. So all the above, do check with your CA when you are finally looking at these aspects. Let me come to the next part, advance tax only after dividend is paid. DRC is going to be helping taxpayers. The limit for tax audit has been increased from 5 crores to 10 crores. The stamp duty or residential units can go up to 120%. Earlier it was 110%. The proposal to notify rules for the NRIs who are facing double taxation, which has an implication, as I understand, that when you become a resident and you have got global income which is now invested in India, is going to be taxable, but till you bring that income into India, there is no taxation on that. This has implications when people who have got 401k or IRA, they bring that income to India. So that amendment now will help NRIs a lot. Abolition of the threshold for 1% company up to 50 lakh rupees is a major boost for 1% companies. Proprietorship funds up to 2 crores, there is the abolition of the threshold is removed there. For investors across all financial products, so this is a new thing which will help the common layman when the investment charter comes into picture. So this has 4 parts. For investors across all financial products, they will get benefited when this investment charter comes into picture. This will bring more confidence to the investor, and this is based on various aspects worldwide which has been studied. SEBI is appointed as the gold exchange regulator, will bring more standardization. The institutional market maker for investment grade corporate bonds, so new opportunities will come to you and bring more liquidity in the market. Finally, FDI and insurance, I see this as a boost because this will bring better products also. Let me continue to the last part of the budget special. Just be with me. So what is the positive outcome? Am I positive as your investment advisor, as your financial planner? Do you think I should give you some 3 points, the 3 outcomes, my summary, how I feel? Let me show you that now. So I feel the 3 positives are that now you have got multiple choices. Let me just bring this forward. So with multiple choices, you have options like NPS, options like not going beyond certain amounts in ULIPs. The role of a RIA, registered investment advisor, I feel now becomes even more important with such huge implications on tax, on investments, on capital gains, and going forward your investment implications, that a registered investment advisor without having any interest in your benefits coming and accruing to him. Look out for the word fiduciary in Google. So what does this mean, fiduciary word in Google? Let me actually do that. So when I bring up this word fiduciary on Google, what does this bring up? A fiduciary is a person or organization that acts on behalf of another person or persons, putting their client's interest ahead of their own with a duty to preserve good faith and trust. Being a fiduciary thus requires being bound both legally and ethically to act in other best interest. Now when I say this fiduciary, so we act in the interest of our clients. That brings the best of your goals, your investments, your dreams, how budget is going to be impacting you, and how you can plan your own budget. What does this budget implication have for you today? So that's what I bring for my clients, and I like to bring you the last part of this budget special. Just stay with me. So when I'm thinking about the budget, I actually mean the budget for yourself. So I'm bringing in another interpretation, 8 points. When I say budget yourself also, now that you've heard the budget of India from the finance minister and I've given you the summaries, let me tell you what and how and you should be planning your own budget. So let me give the straightforward clarifications, the 8 points on budget yourself. So number 1 is always start with your goals in mind, what you want in your life and how you want to spend your money. How do you see yourself achieving your dreams? Number 2 is look at your money habits. Do you overspend? Do you have no budget till now? When you plan, look at how India plans its budget and how effectively the country is able to move, to prosper, to have a growth overall in the economy of the country, how money plays an important role. Don't you think that's the same with your money also? Number 3 is that when you are looking at depreciating assets. Now, when you look at buying a car or buying something where it is called a depreciating asset, a 20 lakh worth of car depreciates the same day by 30%. So it gets to only 14 lakhs worth an asset when you buy a new car worth 20 lakhs. Is it worth buying a depreciating asset or investing in something which is going to be appreciating? Look at debt very carefully. When you wish to have a loan which is important, then you go ahead, consult your financial planner, but do not buy something because it is available on credit only. Secure yourself. All the insurances, all the securities which I keep telling you are important part of your budget. When I say look at the budget carefully. The next is number 6 is that be financially free. Watch my episodes and series of episodes on financial freedom. What do I mean by financial freedom? When you are free from worries of money and money comes to you without working for money. You don't worry on how your monthly expenses are going to be met. Number 7 is, have you got an earning asset for yourself? At least made provisions that you have an earning asset. And the last is number 8, be a giver. If you are so much accomplished in your life, be a giver. Help somebody out. I'm not exactly saying a charity, but I'm saying help out, give out. Help somebody who really needs to be requiring your assistance, whether it's financial or emotional or helping out a person to get to a state where you are today. And that's where I would like to end the budget special today with the important aspects of budget. So with this 20-minute special episode on budget, which I actually have done on 23rd February, after waiting for about 3 weeks, my thought was clear that I would like to have the best of ideas put together, best of analysis put together, best of what it means for the common man, and try and bring you a comprehensive budget special, not just what it is in for you, very small things, but the larger perspective on how you can plan your money, your finances, your investments, and your savings be put to better investments and planning your taxes in an effective way going forward. So in the years to come, be careful how you interpret the budget and how you analyze it and what you think it is for you and what your financial planner has given you. Those ideas are important because that becomes the basis of how you're going to be planning your money, finances, savings, and I would say finally how you look forward to your happiness.